Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Your girl is back. I know I took a little break for a minute, but I'm back in the new year with a new bomb set of nails, period. So, before I get started, I do want to mention that I do have tutorial videos available and one-on-one classes available. It will be the first link in my description box. So right now I'm using the tulip flattened square tips for this set. Now her fingers are super crooked, so it's kind of difficult for me to apply these tips on her. So if you see, like, for example, the thumb how it's like double tipped, that's because I had to cut the first tip off to put a new one on to try to fix it. But she's going for a tapered square, so I'm just using my straight edge clippers to clip just a little bit off the sides, and normally it's towards the bottom. I don't really go all the way up because I like for my shape to gradually get skinnier, and my grit is a 80/80. I personally like to use round files because I feel like they're not as stiff as the square ones, but they're sturdy enough, and then also they're a little bit more flexible so I can get into the sidewalls very good, and I can see a whole lot better. Now I do sometimes use square files, but not that often. I normally like to use the round ones. And then also, in order to get super straight sides, you need to make sure that you're filing straight. Like, you, whatever direction you're filing in, just make sure that the file is straight, and then you're supporting the nail tips with your fingers, and then you're applying pressure directly up against the side wall of the nail tip. And I normally don't show this all the time, but I do flip my clients' hands around, and sometimes I file from this direction, or I'm just checking to make sure everything is nice and straight. If you're right-handed, and you know when you're filing the left side, it's kind of difficult to turn your hand in that position. So just turn your client's hand and file the left side this way. And I'm also filing underneath the straight tips because y'all know sometimes they dip down still. Even though these are the flattened ones, they do kind of have a slight curve to it. Not really, but I still like to go underneath the nail tip and straighten that out completely. And then after I do that, I bring the nails back down, and then I'm just really just go back and forth. So now you saw that I was filing underneath it. That's because the dips are there still. And then on this finger, you see that it's double tipped. That's because I had put the nail tip on going with her finger, and this time I fixed it by making it go against her finger so it's not as crooked. And normally I would just say ask your client which one would they prefer, because some people would rather you go with their finger if it's crooked, but a lot of the times people want you to kind of make it a little bit straighter. So all you do is just put it on going the opposite direction. Not too much, because then it's going to look weird, but just slightly enough so that it appears straight. Now I like to go in with my mandrel and go ahead and blend the nail tips in with the natural nail. And then I also go on the sides of the tip to kind of straighten out some more. This step right here is like, it will change your shape all the way. That's why I said sometimes you can't get it 100% with the nail file. If you go in with your mandrel and your sanding band and just hit the sides a little bit more, I promise you it will straighten it out a whole lot better. So this is a fine grit, and then I got my RPM set to, I think, 7. I really can't see because the light glare in the way. But yeah, this is my drill that I use. I like it. I wouldn't say it's the best, but I just, you know, it's just what I have and just what I'm used to. But I'm pretty sure, there's more drills out there. But I really do like this one because it runs very smooth. But I have tried another one that runs a whole lot smoother. But anyway, it's been doing me good for right now. Here's a good example of the way the nail tips position matters. So her middle finger and her ring finger, they they curve out, then they curve back in and they touch each other. So I place both of the tips on, going away from the direction her nails are going. But as you can see, something looks off, right? It's her index finger. Her index finger is going with her nail, and it may not look like the index finger is the problem, but I promise you it's the problem. I'm gonna take that one off and fix it, and you're gonna see the difference. So I asked her, I'm like, okay, so do you want me to take this one and make it go against your finger? And she was like, yes. So now I'm finna show you the difference right now. So see, I was looking at it, I was trying to fix it, but I was like, no, let me just go ahead and take it off. Now you see it's a new nail on this one, and I put it going in the opposite direction so it wasn't leaning up against her middle finger, and now you see it looks a whole lot better. So that's why I say check the nails from literally all angles. So now the application. Sometimes I kind of struggle with my application with straight tips. That's because I've been using curved tips for so long that I just I had to reteach myself. But I did really good on this application. I'm so proud of myself, first off. Second off, I tried to make sure I didn't use too many beads because that just makes the application process way much longer than it needs to be. So my plan was to take one bead, use that to cover up majority of the tip, right? That was going to be my first bead. Then my second and third bead was going to be for my apex and my cuticle area. And then if I needed an extra bead down at the bottom, I was going to add that as well. Now make sure you don't put too much acrylic on here just because they are extendo nails. And let me tell you why. Okay, even though the nails are long, the apex is what really matters. Yes? Okay, boom. If you make the nails too thick, one, if they hit it, it could potentially make things worse because the nails are just too thick. Two, that's ugly. Thick, overly thick nails, that's ugly. Like, no one wants super thick nails all the way throughout. Now, when I say throughout, I mean like at the tip. The nails don't have to be thick from cuticle to tip. That's just not appealing. So, what you really need to focus on is the apex, and make sure the cuticle area is flush, and then make sure that it gradually gets thinner towards the bottom. Of course, I'm using my Young Nails Cover Pink. This is my favorite go-to nude. And low-key, I feel like it changes on every person depending on their skin tone. It's perfect. And then Young Nails Period, the formula is just amazing. Super buttery. It's not grainy at all. It's like medium setting, so it's not super runny and it don't dry too fast. I love it. So yeah. I do have an older video. If you scroll down my videos, I have an application tutorial pretty much telling you where should your apex be, how thick should that be, and the do's and don'ts of application. If you want to go check that out, scroll a couple videos down and you'll see it. Also, if you want a liquid to powder ratio tutorial, that will be the first link in my bio. When I do my application, I like to focus more on sculpting the nail rather than painting the nail. And what I mean by that, I like to let my acrylic sit. As you can see, I'm really just letting it do its own thing, making sure it's on top of the nail tip if it's coming over on the sides. But I try to do minimal brushing on the surface. I'm really just trying to guide the acrylic where I need it to go, and then once it's solid enough, then that's when I'll go in and start brushing. I never start brushing immediately after I place the bead down because you're just gonna wipe it all away. So I like to let my acrylic dry down some so that it's firm but not too firm to where you can't move it. And I just like to sculpt it in place. That way it still has volume to it and it's not flat. Also, not brushing your acrylic too much helps with the amount of beads you'll need. So, since I don't really brush like hard or a lot, I really don't have to keep going back in with beads on top of beads on top of beads and trying to build structure. It's because I let the acrylic dry down some. That way, whenever I start to blend it out, I'm not blending it away. So if you feel like you've been using too many beads, try to let the acrylic dry down some and then form the nail with the acrylic instead of brushing the acrylic off the nail tip pretty much. When it comes to the cuticle area, I like to take my time but be quick at the same time. So I make sure that I'm super precise with where I place my brush and that I use my brush to tuck the acrylic around the sidewall and around the cuticle. So you notice how I'm using the very tip of my brush to tuck the product into the sides, and then I'm going to use the body of my brush to pull the extra acrylic down the nail. And on this one, I do use an extra bead. I'm going to place it not directly on the cuticle, but I'm going to place it in that area. And now this one, I am going to just let it fall and just flatten out because I don't need it to build structure on the cuticle area. I need it to blend my three sections together. So whenever you're using a 3 bead method, sometimes you do have to use an extra bead to mend it all together if your application wasn't the best. And that's pretty much what I just did with that bead. I use it like a glaze to glaze everything over. And then I'm always checking my angles from every side. Notice how I'm grabbing my acrylic. I'm kind of doing a tapping but scooping motion at the same time. I normally don't scoop that much with regular length nails, but since these are super extendo, I really want to make sure that I'm grabbing enough product because my goal is to cover the whole plastic tip up at one time. And to prevent, having to keep going in with beads, I just need to make sure I pick up enough the first time. So that's why you see me kind of almost grabbing at the powder because I'm trying to give my brush enough time to actually pick up some acrylic. So that way I don't have to worry about going in with more beads. Once you place your bead down, immediately tuck in the sides. That needs to be one of the first steps that you do, because before you can even blend anything down, out, up, or whatever, you have to make sure that your acrylic is centered. So once you place your bead, immediately check the sides to make sure nothing is falling over, nothing is running down the tip. Get that in check first, and then you can proceed to blend everything down or with another bead you already placed. Again, with the cuticle area, I'm placing it all in the center, and I'm kind of pushing the acrylic towards the cuticle area a little bit more. Then I'm going to use my bristles to tuck everything in. You kind of want to move quick because you don't want anything to flood or get stuck in one place. Now I'm going to use the body of my brush to pull the rest of that acrylic down, and it literally just melts like butter. This is why I love using Young Nails cover powders. So this was one of the nails that I had originally put the tip on going with her nails, and this one curves to the right. She told me she would rather for me to just go against it. So when I put the tip on, I made it lean towards the left a little bit more. So yeah, I always just ask to see what they would like, because sometimes what's better they don't really want. They want it just, I guess, I guess they wanted to go with their finger, but that's why it's just best to ask. from this angle, you can kind of see how thick they are and in what areas are they thick. So I normally, where the nail tip meets the free edge, that's where I normally place my apex, and I have it flush by the cuticle, and I have the nail slowly get thinner towards the tip, not extremely thin, but I don't like for the tips of the nails to be super thick. So from this angle, you can kind of see, just based off application, what the application side profile looks like, because y'all know I normally show y'all the side profile once I'm done shaping and filing, but from this angle you can kind of see what it looks like before that. Okay, so for this, I decided to hand file the body of the nail because I don't know about y'all, But whenever I do extendo nails and I try to use my drill, it's just uncomfortable. Like, I don't like having my shaft so far out on my drill because it creates vibration, and if I turn it up, it starts vibrating, and it's just, sometimes it does it, sometimes it don't. It just depends. I just honestly would rather just hand file it with long nails like this, because the application already be smooth. I'm really just evening everything out. So I just went ahead and decided to hand file, but I did use my fine carbide bit to go along the cuticle area. That's what I'm doing now. So I just took the skin, and I take my time. Even though this sped up, I do take my time. And yeah, y'all, I just bought a 5-in-1 drill bit. I love it. I absolutely love it. I will probably only use that from now on. I gotta test it out a little bit more because I only had it for a day. But based off me using it once, I was like, okay, yeah, I love this. So this is what our nails look like put together. And I think I shaped them. Yeah, I had already shaped them. Now I'm buffing them. And then after I get done with that, I'm going to show y'all the side profile. Y'all, look at her. She talking with her hands already. Already talking with the hands. Like, girl, the design not even on. And you already activated, period. That'd be so funny because I be the same way. And as y'all can see, I don't have any nails on. I haven't had nails on in like a month. And I'm going crazy right about now. It's just, I don't really feel like doing my nails. And I just hate how they look after I've done everybody else's nails. And I would rather not have them on than to have them on and have them looking dusty and crusty. Y'all know, if you know, you know. The girls that get it, get it. So these are the colors I used. I mixed all of them with the white, and then I used the original color for the crocodile print. Now, I think I already have some crocodile prints designs on my YouTube, but I'm gonna show y'all anyway. This is the inspo pic that's on my phone right there. She does have 2 pink nails, and I decided to keep it that way. I was gonna do mint green, but I was like, I'm feeling the double pink. So I mixed all the colors with white because, as you can see on the phone, the colors are very pastel. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. The what is it? The blooming gel is by A Galore. I had borrowed it from one of my coworkers, and I used a dotting tool to do the croc print. And when it comes to the croc print, you can do one nail at a time, but I ain't got time for that. I be putting the blooming gel on all of them, and then just hurry up real fast and do the croc print on all of them and call it a day. But for my actual French, I'm using my A Galore 25mm striper brush. I love this brush. It's really good. I wish it was a tad bit longer, but as you can see with this brush, you can just lay it down and it's just gonna do the work for you, girl. So yeah, this is a good brush. So I'm gonna let you guys watch me do the French. I wanted to do more of a deep French, but I honestly did not have time to do that because of the time wasted. I was when I was trying to take her tips off and put them back on, because some of them was crooked. So I really wanted to do a deeper French, but y'all know French takes a minute to do anyway. And when you want to do a deeper French, it's like you have to be so precise and oh well. I still think they look cute, but I would have rather done a deeper French than this. But I was trying to make sure I was on time and not running late for my next appointment. And then another thing I hate about mixing colors is that when you have to fill in the rest of the French with this brush, it's like, yeah, you can use a different brush, but sometimes when you use, like, for instance, a 3D brush, it takes the paint off. So it's like, now I gotta fill this in with this little striper brush, but it's cool. I like mixing colors though, because I feel like sometimes when you mix colors, it end up looking better for some reason. Yeah, y'all see me tapping her finger. Girl, relax. Please relax so I can do my job. Thank you. Please. And what else I gotta say? So I went over the striper brush. I went over the croc print. Yeah, so again, I would recommend you doing the croc print one nail at a time. Do one nail, go to the other hand, do one nail, go to the other hand. That so that it won't over bloom, because if you wait too long before curing it, it could bloom so much that it'll take over the whole design. But child, I was moving fast, okay? Period. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the design. And then we decided to go with teddy bears. She wanted to put the teddy bears on there, girl, but I put the teddy bears on there because the teddy bear was cute, but she normally doesn't like any bling or charms or nothing like that. She likes the acrylic designs and the paint designs, but she don't really care for the jewels and stuff. But I really wanted to put those teddy bears on there because that was cute. I don't remember where I got them from. Actually, I'm lying. Yes, I do. They're from Amazon, and I think I already got them in my storefront, so go check that out. It will be the second link in my description. But yeah, that's it for the voiceover, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know I've been gone for a little minute, but your girl is back. It's just, actually, y'all, I had many videos I recorded. I got like 5 videos I recorded, but I just didn't like how any of them looked. I broke the camera on my other phone. The phone I had when I showed y'all the picture just then, the camera on that one is broken, and that was the phone I was using to record my YouTube videos. Luckily, I got another one, but it's just, I was recording videos while my phone camera was broken and the quality was trash. And honestly, I liked the nails I did and recorded, but everything is not, I guess, YouTube worthy. I guess, I don't know. Pretty much what I'm saying is I don't want to just upload anything. Yeah, the nails probably was cute, but I only want to put out quality content. Like, I don't want to just throw videos out just because. So that's why I was just like, nah, I'm not posting these. I'm going to wait till I get sets that I really, really enjoy doing and just I really like showing, and just only post those. But yeah, I had a lot of videos recorded. It's just when I came to edit them, I was like, this is not even worth it, child. But I am back, y'all. I'm starting to get back into the groove of things. I've just been waiting for my clients to get something, good that I can show y'all, or that I haven't already shown y'all. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe. Please subscribe, girl. Like, what are you doing? Also, make sure you comment, like, and share. Bye, y'all.